Hi, Evan. I appreciate you giving us some time. With Patrick Horquist absent for the time being, do you look at that or identify that as an opportunity to make a greater impression, given you maybe a few more reps in practice or a few more reps in, say, a scrimmage like today?
Yeah, I think so. I think any opportunity you can get to kind of showcase yourself and show what you can do is always, always a benefit. And that being said, I think whether it's practice or inter-squad scrimmage like today, you always go out there and you give it your all, and just try to play your game.
Next question is from Rob Rossi. Go ahead, Rob.
When you often hear guys that get traded at the deadline, it's sort of a tough transition, and for you and the other guys, it was probably even tougher because of the pandemic. How much does a camp setting like this help you sort of develop that quick chemistry that is needed, quick bonding that is needed for new guys to a team?
Yeah, I think it's helped out a ton. I think coming back from our hiatus, I guess it was almost like starting fresh and almost like a second season here. So it's been good to be around the guys a lot and spend a lot of time during this camp together. And it's made the transition and I guess the transition to being part of this team a lot easier. And I feel like I'm definitely one of the guys, and I feel right at home.
Next question is from Michelle. Go ahead, Michelle.
Hey, Evan, I don't think we got a chance to talk to you during quarantine. So just wondering how it was for you to spend time with your family during the pause. And I know that you became a dad again. So just how was that to spend some time with your new addition?
Yeah, it was awesome. Even during the summers when you're at home, you're usually, driving in and out of, well, for me, in and out of Boston to work out and skate. And this was a rare time where I was pretty much home 24/7 for the 2-3 months. And it was really cool getting to spend some quality time with my oldest son. And then obviously now spending time with my new son who's a month old. It's been awesome. And it's time that you take advantage of and really appreciate, because when the season starts, you don't get that same quality time that we have in the past few months. So it was definitely awesome.
Next question is Wes Crosby. Go ahead, Wes.
Hey, Evan, thanks for doing this. When you're trying to ramp up toward a playoffs, how hopeful is it when you get an opportunity like today where you're facing another team that has Sid, Gino, Brian, Jake, all those guys that were out there against you today?
Yeah, it definitely helps. I think it pushes you. Little things like even back checking and pushing it kind of to the limit when you you don't think you have anything left in the tank. It just kind of helps you get game ready, and obviously going up against those guys and all the talent on the other end today, it's definitely pushes you and makes you a better hockey player. And I think we have a couple more of these coming up in the next week, and it'll you have to take advantage of it, and I think it'll definitely be beneficial for us.
Next question is from Seth Rohrbach. Go ahead, Seth.
Evan, given the unique nature of this tournament with the roster limitations, how much value do you think a player like yourself who can play various positions carries, or maybe offers to a coaching staff in the event of other players being absent?
Yeah, I'd like to think a lot. I pride myself on being able to play in all three positions and up and down the lineup, and that versatility is something that I'm bringing to the table, and hopefully will help out this team. And anything I can do to obviously help us win games and take us to the ultimate goal, winning a Stanley Cup, and I'm willing to do, and I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be an awesome experience, a unique experience, obviously being in the bubble and living in a hotel for a few months, and I'm looking forward to getting started in a week or so.
Next question is from Taylor Haas. Go ahead, Taylor.
Hi, Evan. As someone with a family and a new baby, I mean, how tough is it going to be to go into the bubble like that? And how do you balance, that reality with the excitement of getting ready for the playoffs?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be difficult, but in hindsight and when you take things into perspective, it's it's not the worst situation in the world. I'm going to, do something that I love, and going to try to win a Stanley Cup. And I'm obviously going to miss my newborn and miss my entire family, but there are sacrifices that you have to make in life, and this is one of them. And hopefully, when I look back on it, it'll be it'll be worth it. And you can always take the bright side of things and look positively, and that's what I'm going to try to do. And there's always FaceTime and stuff, so I'll be able to still obviously talk and see my family. But like I said, you make sacrifices, you look positively at things, and at the end of the day, we're going to try to win a Stanley Cup, which is obviously every hockey player's dream.
Next question is from Michelle. Go ahead, Michelle.
Evan, when you came to the Penguins at the deadline, I mean, there were obviously some key players missing. And now that you have a full complement of guys, just what are kind of your impressions of how the teams look so far throughout the first week? And just, you kind of touched on this, but how excited are you for the opportunity that's ahead of you guys with kind of having a healthy roster?
Yeah, the depth on our team is incredible. You look up and down the lineup, it's a 4-line team that's going to come at you with speed and, tenacity. And I think the quicker we can get up to playing with an edge and playing fast, I think the more successful we'll be. And it's just going to be an exciting time. I'm really looking forward to it, and I can't wait to get started. It's going to be a lot of fun.
More. Next is Rob Rossi. Go ahead, Rob.
Over the years, players that have joined the Penguins with Mike Sullivan as the coach have talked about the noticeable pace with which everything is done during practices. I wonder how you've sort of noticed that manifest itself in your short time, and what makes you think that's an effective way to run things.
Well, I think that's kind of where the game is headed right now. I think it's all about speed and relentless pressure and relentless attack. And I think from obviously the short time I've had, the practices we've had are all high pace, and people always say you play the way you practice, and I think that's definitely implemented here, and I think it'll lead to a lot of success. I think, like I said, it's where the game's going, and hopefully it'll help us win some hockey games.
We have another question. We have a question from Jenna Harner. Go ahead, Jenna.
Hey, Evan, how do you guys kind of assess where you're at, especially after a day like today? Because I know you guys have been pushing the pace a lot, but how do you guys kind of, evaluate where you're at currently?
I think it's kind of all personal. The way, even the puck feels on your stick when you have it, and your conditioning, and, how long you can extend shifts and kind of be battle ready. I think you can skate a ton in the summers and during this off time, but there's nothing like a game scenario where you're stopping, starting, finishing hits, and I think that's what these inter-squad scrimmages will help us with. And again, in this kind of scenario where everything gets ramped up so quickly, I think the team that does that and is ready to kind of battle and compete will have an advantage. And I think that's why we're trying to get these games in and trying to push the pace a little bit.
Last question from Seth Rohrbach. Go ahead, Seth.
Hey, Evan, when in your hockey career, your hockey life, did you figure out that playing multiple positions might be helpful, and how did you learn to do that, I guess?
I don't know. I think it just kind of came naturally. I grew up always being a centerman, and then when I got to juniors in college, I played wing, and then my second year pro, one of my coaches thought they needed a centerman, and he thought I'd be good at it, and I kind of just relished it. And so ever since then, I've kind of been able to play center and wing, and it's something I take pride in, like I said earlier, and something that I think helps me, and hopefully something that I can bring to this team and obviously help us win hockey games.